Hey guys, change of scenery for tonight's live. I've got a horrible feeling that this writing is all going to be like back to front, like Russian writing or something like that. So apologies if it is, but you don't really need to read this stuff anyway because I'm going to take you through each part. There is a way, I believe, of doing it as a selfie video and then making sure you can see all the writing, but being the technical genius that I am, I haven't really worked out how to do that yet. But just wanted to say thank you so much for sharing. Please, put this out. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the love. Do me a favour and share it with anybody that you think would benefit from this tonight. I'm going to be talking about what to do when you hit the wall. I've hit the wall a lot of times, whether it's in fitness, business, just in lifestyle in general. So I'm going to be sharing a few things about what I've done and how I've kind of got over the wall or smashed through the wall or got under the wall. You've just got to get past it, basically. But I'm going to talk a little bit, following on from last week's live, on what that stuff is. So, by the way, welcome to my office, aka the broom cupboard. I do work from home a lot of the time, but I decided that I was going to get myself a little office round the corner from where I live just so I could get a bit more organised. And you won't believe it, I've had this office for like 2 months. The Wi-Fi, they couldn't find the router or anything like that, so I've had a really bad problems with the Wi-Fi. So I've not been able to do the lives down here, believe it or not, even though it's an office. And then the radiators bust tonight as well, so it's absolutely freezing. I can't actually feel my toes. This is why I'm wearing the Home Alone hat. So there you go. All right, guys, I'm going to take you through a little bit of a story tonight. It's going to be a little bit longer than normal as well because there's a few key points to go through. But I just want to share with you some kind of stories that I've had over the years, what I've learned, and maybe that can stop you from getting stuck. So I'm going to get rid of the comments for a minute because it does distract the hell out of me. All right, thank you for the love, and let's go for it. So last week I talked about the struggle. Last week I talked about doing something that you don't really love. And that's one of the reasons we don't live with passion. That's one of the reasons we never really succeed. So last week we touched on, different jobs. And you guys commented as well. Like I did loads of different stuff. I was a postman for 6 weeks. I was training to be a lifeguard. I didn't actually pass the qualification, so I never made it. But that was probably a good thing because it wasn't really my passion. And I think a lot of the time people go through life just saying, I'll just do that. Or that seems easy, so I'll do that. And I think as soon as you get out of that, let's just go down the easy route path, rather than follow your passion, follow your hobby, whatever it is, or find something that you truly love, then you're always going to be stuck. You're always going to be like a car that doesn't get started properly, jumping from job to job to job. And if you meet anybody, or we've all got friends that have done loads of different jobs, I guarantee if you ask them why it is that they keep moving from job to job, they're not really living the passion. I've got a really good friend. They don't really stick to a job ever. They're only in it for a couple of weeks. And the reason is because that isn't the passion. It's as simple as that. So if you have got a passion out there, then go and follow it. Try and find a way of building a business around it. Or if you find your passion and what it is, go and do it to the best of your ability. So the first thing that I'm going to say is the reason we hit the wall. By the way, what do you think of the doodling? This is meant to be a wall that I've drawn. I was like bored and cold. I was bored and cold, so I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to draw a wall to make it a bit more animated. So yeah, give the drawing some love if you can. So yeah, the number one reason I think most people hit the wall is you don't actually love what you're doing. Because if you loved what you're doing, then it wouldn't feel like a chore. I'm not saying it's going to feel easy every single day. I'm not going to say it'll flow every single day. But what I'm trying to say to you is this. If you don't love what you're doing, then you're going to really, really struggle. And a lot of the time when you hit the wall, is actually that's the wake-up call that I'm doing this for the wrong reasons. I got into it because I thought it was going to be easy. This is why I hate the get-rich-quick scheme thing and dive in now and make loads of money from doing absolutely nothing. It's bullshit. It doesn't exist because eventually you'll realise that you don't love it. There's loads of different things out there. I get pitched all the time on different stuff. That's money-making things. And I turn down a lot of these things. The number one reason is because it doesn't excite me. If someone's saying to you, put your money in this and in 2 weeks you're going to triple your money. Like, so what? I mean, there's no passion there for me. There's no, you know, you're not going to open up a bank account and it's going to walk on stage and say, thank you, John, you changed my life. Like, I want to help people. I love working with people. It's much more than just the money for me. So when I was a personal trainer, it was freezing cold in my gym. In fact, I was just having this conversation with Kerry and James about this about 10 minutes ago on the phone. The gym was absolutely freezing cold. In the winter, it was like an ice box. In the summer, it was like a greenhouse. But I was still there at 6:30 in the morning training people. I was still there at 9 o'clock at night. I would do whatever it took. I would work around my clients. I would, you know, cancel stuff. I would get in there. I would train them. I would never, ever cancel. I had this rule, never cancel. In fact, funny story, one day there was this lady that hadn't been for ages. Like, I'm talking months and months and months. And the weather came in that it was going to be freezing cold and it was probably going to snow. And I was like, no one's going to show up tomorrow. But I have this rule, I don't cancel it. What if one person turns up? I feel terrible. So I was like, you know what it's like? You can't sleep at night if you think the weather's going to be bad. You're always like preempting that you're going to get up in the morning and you're going to have to clear the car of snow and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I'm waking up every couple of hours looking through the curtains and snow's coming down, and I'm checking my Facebook group and going like, well, people are still saying that they're coming. No one said that they're not going to make it, so I've got to go. So I get up at 5:30, clear the car, drive to the gym, which was about 40 minutes, get to the gym, ready to open up. I'm like, there's snow everywhere. It's like Narnia. I'm thinking, surely nobody is going to turn up today. I mean, I've wasted my time coming in. And then this one person came who hadn't been for months. Like, she didn't come all summer, and then she decided that when it was going to snow more than it had ever snowed that year, that that was the day that she was going to get back into fitness. So we went into the ice box and we trained. And you know what? It's kind of a funny story because I didn't cancel it, but it also tells you a little bit about human behavior. And the cool thing is when you decide that you're going to do something and you've made that decision and it's instant, then nothing is going to get in your way. So for me, if you love what you do, you will always go the extra mile. Some days it'll be easier than others. Some days it'll be more fun than others. But I knew when I got up, when I was personal training clients, that even if I got up tired and a little bit sluggish, eventually I would get into the groove. So you need to question, do you really, really love what you do? If you would do it for free, that means you love it. It's as simple as that. If you would do it for free, that means you love it. And a lot of the time in business, we have to do stuff that doesn't give us the financial reward straight away. So what is it that's keeping you involved in what you're doing? Whether it's network marketing, online marketing, whether it's your own little coffee shop that you're running, whether it's a florist, whether it's your hairdressing salon, you must love what you're doing to keep going. So if you don't love it, then you're probably going to hit the wall and you're probably not going to get over it. Number 2, lack of patience. And it's Tony Robbins that said, people overestimate what they can do in a year and they underestimate what they can do in 5 years. Okay, so that was me as well. At one point I was like, this business isn't getting where I want it to be. I want to be earning more money. I want to be working with more people. I want to be changing more lives. And I'd only been doing it 18 months. And I stuck at it and I stuck at it and stuck at it. And eventually I had the breakthrough and it started to work for me. So I was at that wall about 2.5 years in. And I had to change some things. And I'm not going to go into that tonight because I've kind of already talked about that on other lives. And maybe I'll dip back into it later on. But playing the long game is what it's all about. There's a book that I've just been featured in called The 4-Year Career Hero Version. And the reason that I love that book is because it's called The 4-Year Career. It's not called The 4-Minute Career, The 4-Week Career, the 4-Month Career. It's called The 4-Year Career because you have to stick at things, guys. I mean, who started a detox or a cleanse? Like I did this year. I've not been drinking now for 5 weeks. I tell you, total truth. I was looking for my abs after 5 days of not drinking and eating clean. That's how impatient we are as human beings. So are you looking at your bank balance after 5 days of building a business or after 5 minutes of being involved? When what I'm talking about with 5 minutes is like very, very short term. So don't overestimate what you're going to do in 1 year, and certainly don't underestimate what you can achieve in 5 years. And you achieve so much more than money on these journeys when you're an entrepreneur, when you're building your business. So play the long game, guys. That is the secret to breaking through. I've seen it so many times where people are that close, and there's an amazing picture, maybe I'll upload it onto the page after, of the two guys that are they're searching for diamonds, and they've got the pickaxe, and one guy is that close away from having the breakthrough and finding the diamonds, and the other guy who's underneath him is totally relentless, and he's just smashing through the wall no matter what. That was me. I was just going consistently. Did I have doubts? Of course I did. But I remembered why I started in the first place. I didn't want to be the person that walked away and then saw somebody else make a success of it. And I always say this to people, like, you don't want to walk into a room one day, or you don't want to drive past a building and see someone implementing the business that you really wanted to do, or see someone being a success in the business that you're already in your area. It's there for the taking, guys. It really is. You just have to step into it. So lack of patience, that's one of the reasons. That's how to get over it. Play that long game. Have your long-term vision, your 1 year plan, your 3 year plan, and then your 5 year vision. I don't really go too deep in what I want in 5 years, but I know exactly what I want to do this year, and I want to double my personal goals for this year are to double my business. Okay, the next thing is focusing solely on money. Now, I love money. I'm not ashamed to say it. Money allows you to do cool things, allows you to buy a cool hat. It allows you to buy a coat if you're cold. Do you know what I mean? And it sounds ridiculous, but I was in London once. It was absolutely freezing. I didn't bring enough stuff down with me, and it was so cold. It was a joke. Money wasn't an issue to me, so I walked into a shop and just bought a coat. That's what money is. It wasn't an expensive coat. It was like 30 or 40 quid. That's freedom. That's giving you choices. That's giving you the ability to say yes to things. So money is cool. Money allows you to do cool stuff, you know, buy cool things, help other people, and it gives you that freedom and those life choices to do whatever you want. But if all you focus on is that, which is money, by the way, if it looks backwards on there, if all you focus on is money, then eventually you're going to leave, you're going to quit, you're going to hit the wall, and you're going to turn around and go, I can't get over this wall. So what is it that you love about your business other than the money? You know, when I was struggling, or not struggling because I hate that word, but when I was moving slowly, that's probably a better phrase, when I was moving slowly through my business, I was still in love with so many other things about it. All right, the check wasn't growing, and people were saying to me, why are you still doing it? The reason I was still doing it was the friendships, the personal growth, you know, the fun times that we were having, a little bit of traveling, like driving to a seminar at the weekend, doing something like living a purpose. So it goes back to loving what you do. These two are kind of linked, because if you love what you do, then the money will come anyway. The money will come later on. The money is just a byproduct of the amount of problems that you solve and the amount of people that you help. That's all the money is in relation to. It's just a measuring tool. The more people you help get results, the more money you will make. But if you don't love what you're doing, and if all you're focused on is money, 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 then eventually that will break you. That will be your breaking point, and that's where you'll walk up to, you'll be at the wall, and you won't be able to break through. You won't be able to get over it. Okay, next one, and this, I mean, I see this all the time, comparisonitis. This is where you look at other people and you go, they're doing it better than me, they're faster than me, I can't do what they're doing, they've had it easier than me, if I was in their place I could do it. But I see it over and over and over and over again. I saw it when I was in the fitness industry, personal trainers comparing themselves against other personal trainers. Well, you've got 20 clients and I've only got 10 clients, so you must be doing better than me, you're charging more than me, you're training more people at this time, you've got more qualifications so it's easier for you, blah, 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 blah. You've got, you know, more equipment or whatever. And I've seen it in network marketing as well. People comparing their journeys to other people. She did it in 6 months. I've been stuck at this position for 2 years. Like, you cannot compare yourself. Every single journey on this world is completely individual. We could write a list now of 100 names of the world's most successful people, and not one story would be the same. Not one. There might be a few slight comparisons, but there won't be one story that is identical. So just as we are all genetically different on the outside, genetically different on the inside, our stories are all different as well. So you are totally wasting your time comparing yourself to anybody else. It is literally, you know, when we say drinking alcohol is like negative calories, like it's dead calories, it doesn't do anything for the body. That's the same with comparisonitis. It is negative thoughts. It is just dead thoughts. It isn't going to get you anywhere. Look at other people and get inspired by what they've done. If they can do it, I can do it. Yeah? Or if they can do it, maybe I can do it my own way, slightly different. But don't look at somebody else and let it demotivate you. Comparisonitis is probably one of the biggest things. If we were to rank these in order, I would say it is up there in terms of making people that are actually doing really well slow down, get distracted, look left, look right, take the foot off the gas, and start to question what they're doing. When actually, let's say we're all walking up a mountain together and we're all trying to get to the peak, just because somebody goes off in a different direction doesn't mean that you're not on the right path for you. They might get up there quicker or they might not. They might get lost. I've seen that happen quite a few times. That's another life. But if you stick to the route that you've got and you're very focused on your journey, and it doesn't matter about the speed, if you just keep going and you just keep going and you just keep going, eventually you will have that breakthrough. The only person you should be comparing yourself to is you. So I'm doing CrossFit at the minute. As you know, I'm entering the CrossFit Open. I ain't built for this stuff. Trust me, I ain't the fittest person out there. Far from it. I've never been a really kind of fit guy in terms of aerobic capacity and, you know, really good lungs and that kind of thing. So I can start doing the workouts and I can start comparing my scores to everybody else's, or I can just compare my scores to my scores. Now I look at the CrossFit Games athletes that are doing it and I'm like, holy shit, how the hell are they actually doing this stuff in that time frame? But I see it as inspiration. I don't go, oh, there's no point doing it because they're doing it better than me. So when I take pictures of workouts that I've done, guess what? I only ever take pictures of my workouts. I never take pictures of other people that have been in the gym before me and go, right, who's that guy? I tell you what, I've never met him before, but I've seen his score on the whiteboard, so I'm going to follow him, find out where he lives, find out what he's eating. What's the point, right? What's the point in that? Just focus on your own journey, beating yourself, trying to improve what you're doing every single time. Okay, next one. Noises of negativity. Son, why don't you stop doing that business now? It's a waste of time. I'm worried about you. That was what my mum said to me a few years ago, actually. Focus on your other business. This thing isn't getting anywhere. It isn't going to, you know, you're not going to do it. And I've actually heard 2 stories this week of partners questioning their partners on why they're actually doing this, you know, this stuff, whether it be online, whether it be networking businesses, or whether you just decide to go for a different, you're never going to make any money in that. You're never going to build the lifestyle that you want. It's never going to work for you. Almost laughing and sniggering, and I've seen it so many times. We always say raise your peer group, and I can almost see it like you're trying to climb a tree and there's someone there grabbing your leg trying to pull you down, and what you've got to do is kick them off so you can climb up to the top of the tree. There are going to be people around you that if you listen to them, they will talk you down off the tree of success. They'll talk you into climbing down and giving up, because they'll make you believe that you're doing something wrong. They'll make you believe that you can't get there. So don't let the noises of negativity distract you. Don't let them take you off track. Stay really focused on what you're doing. How do you do that? Well, you're doing it tonight. You're getting on lives. You're listening to people that have done it. Like, I ain't anybody special, but I've done a lot of stuff and I've been through a lot of these things and still go through it now, by the way, where I've got to give myself a reminder that, oh, there's noises of negativity there. There's someone trying to talk me out of doing what I really want to do. There's someone trying to tell me to slow down. Why? Because it benefits them and it doesn't benefit me. So don't let anybody question what you're doing. Don't let anybody try and talk you out of it. Even if it's a snidey comment or a sarcastic joke, don't let it chip away at you. Whatever you do, just laugh it off, remain focused. hey, people telling me I can't do something motivates the crap out of me. Like, I love that stuff. So I actually say, tell me more and it'll fuel me. But if you're one of those people that it really puts in a bad place, don't buy into it, ignore it and move on. Stick your headphones in, listen to some stuff that's going to motivate and inspire you. And I guarantee you will start feeling empowered and ready to go again. Bad advice. This kind of links in, but sometimes you can get bad advice from people that really want the best for you, just because they don't really understand what you're doing. So I've seen it again, like people over the years that I've worked with that have got bad advice, and they've got distracted and they've gone off track. They've literally listened to something because they've said it's quicker, it's faster, it's stronger, it's better. And it might have been for that other person, and they've gone straight away. They've got distracted and they've left the field. Jim Rohn talks about it all the time. If you chase the birds, you leave the field. If you leave the field, the crops eventually die. So just be careful about who you're getting your advice from, whether it's someone you look up to. And I've been there, guys. I've had advice from people that I've looked up to, and I've thought, actually, looking back, it wasn't the best advice I've ever been given. But I bought into it because they were maybe role models for me. But when I look back, I think, actually, if I was to advise myself again on that situation, I wouldn't have done what they said. It wasn't the right move for me. And I've also seen other people get advice from people that they looked up to, and I've gone, that I tried to talk them out of that, but they didn't listen, they didn't go for it. So, hey, it's all a lesson, by the way. But be careful on who you get your advice from. What are their intentions? What are their words doing to you? You know, what is the reason for them saying that? Is it to take you off track to kind of get you to do what they want to do? Or have they really, really got your best interests at heart? A really big one in our industry is stealing of influence. So somebody's got a decent following and they're like, right, come over here and do something for me and blah, blah, blah. And then the next minute, they've just hijacked your whole audience and they're then trying to sell them something. It's really big at the moment. I see it a lot on Facebook, hence my email about, you know, people trying to sell the shovel when they don't know where the gold is. So just be careful of that stuff, guys. Okay, next one, burnout. What is burnout? I think for me, we're also focused on our goals, and these two link. Where is it? The lack of patience and burnout link, because we're all in a rush. We all want it today, we all want it tomorrow, we all want it today. We want the cars, we want the houses, we want, you know, the freedom. We all want it today. But the truth is, it's better to build it consistently for time rather than absolutely hammer it and then burn out. What do I mean by burnout? You end up getting short-tempered with your family members, you end up getting tired, you can't think straight, you can't sleep properly, you pick up colds, you get run down, you start to resent what you're doing, and if it's not fun, you're doing it totally wrong. So as soon as it starts to feel not fun anymore, ask yourself this: am I getting burnt out? And I get it, we all hear this 5 a.m. club, team no sleep. I understand it, I've been there myself, because you want something that much that you're willing to go to bed 3 hours later, you're willing to get up 2 hours earlier, you're willing to, you know, drive down to Essex, do an event, and then drive back that night and get back absolutely shattered. So start to make really sensible decisions that are based around not burning out, that are based around recovering to aid performance. So something that I'm doing at the minute is I'm setting an alarm on my phone that reminds me to shut off my phone. So the alarm goes off on my phone, shut off my phone, go to sleep. Like, turn off your phones at certain points in the night. Otherwise, and I've done this, you'll have all done this, you're still on YouTube or you're still on Facebook at 3 a.m. The bright lights are activating your mind, people are writing stuff, you're interested in it, or you start watching a movie on YouTube or something on there, and then before you know it, you've watched about 10 different clips, and you've gone from watching something inspirational to then watching a guy that's traveling the world in a camper van, to then watching giraffes giving birth, to then watching that monkey that rapes a frog. I don't know if you've ever seen that. By the way, don't get distracted by that video. So what I'm trying to say is, all this stuff adds up to total distraction, burnout, tiredness in the morning, get up feeling grumpy, unproductive, struggling to focus, We've all been there. We all know what it is. But imagine if you just said, you know what, I could carry on, I could do more, but actually, I want to be on top form tomorrow, so I'm going to shut myself down now, and I'm going to make a good decision for me. I was doing something at an event the other week, and it was incredible, and I had a hotel room to stay in that night, but I decided that I was going to drive home because I knew I'd have a better sleep in my own bed. And it was one of the best decisions that I've made in terms of reducing burnout and recovering to perform. Next one, forgetting the reason you started. This is an exercise you can all do now. It doesn't matter what business you're in, what company you're with. Even if you've not even got a company and you've just got an idea and you've just got a vision for leaving what you're currently doing and going following your passion, and you're kind of stuck at that wall. What was the reason that you started having these thoughts in the first place? What was the reason that you started to look for something else? What was the reason that you started to think, maybe there's something out there for me, maybe there's something better, where I can earn more money, have more impact, help more people, do more cool stuff, have more freedom? What was it that sparked that initial thought? Why did you start? What was the pain points where you were at? Because sometimes when I'm tired and I'm frustrated and I'm running low on energy, I think, well, you know what? I don't have to get up at 5:30 every single morning anymore. I don't have to be in the gym till 10 o'clock at night. I don't have to work weekends. So although sometimes being on the entrepreneur train and doing online stuff and traveling and doing events and this, that and the other, it's so much better than what I was doing in the past. So reminding yourself why you started gives you that gratitude moment of thinking, actually, this is much better than walking around Manchester with a postman's bag in the pouring rain, getting paid £8 an hour for delivering letters for somebody else, right? And that's not a dig on those jobs, by the way. It's just that that's what my life could have been like compared to what I'm doing now. So I always try and remind myself why I started in the first place. What is the goal? What is the vision for you? What is it that you want? Why did you get involved? Why are you even watching this live tonight? What's the inspiration that you want to carry? Maybe you write that down. Maybe you make a note of that if you are taking notes on this. Maybe you watch it back and start to write some stuff. Hey, drop me a message. Let me know. What was the reason that you started in the first place? What was it? What did you see? And you've got to remind yourself of that. That's where vision boards come in. You know, I hear, oh, vision boards are just mumbo jumbo and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't really make sense. The truth is, the vision board is there just to remind you why you started in the first place. The vision board is to remind you why you're doing what you're doing now, so you can do what others can't later on. That is the key to having a vision board, having it on your phone, having it in your car, having it on your wall. That is it. It's just a reminder tool to keep you going. Okay, next one. We're nearly there, guys. Overwhelm. What do I mean by overwhelm? I see it over and over again. People get too high when things are going well. Oh my God, my life is going to be amazing. Things are starting in my business. This is insane. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. And then it doesn't kick in the way they want it to. So then they go from being there straight down. Like I call it entrepreneurial bipolar. 1 minute they're high as a kite. The next minute they're rock bottom. Why is it? Because they've not managed their emotions. They've not disciplined that emotion to say, well, actually, let's get excited when the contract's been signed. Let's get excited when the distributor's signed up and started putting their orders on. Let's get excited when that person's ordered the product. Let's get excited when they've booked the train ticket to come to the event. Let's get excited when the money is in the bank and I can look on my online banking and go, ka-ching, it's gone in. That's the time to get excited, not before it's actually happened. The other alternative, or the other thing that people do, is they get too low when things don't go the way they want to go. Like literally walking home, walking into the house like that in tears. What's wrong? Somebody said no. Somebody told me that they didn't want to do it. Someone called my business a scam. They said it wasn't for them. Like it doesn't matter. It's not the end of the world. So don't get too low. Discipline that emotion. Don't get too high until the money is in the bank or the contract's been signed or somebody's joined, whatever. Just make sure you're balancing out those disciplines and getting really, really focused on celebrating when there's something to celebrate. The other thing as well with Overwhelm is, I would say it's based a lot down to this, the comparisonitis. So like I said, a lot of these things link, because what you do is then you go, oh, well, that person hasn't joined, or they haven't ordered, or they've said this and they've said that. And then you go and look at somebody else who's having success. So it makes you feel even worse because you're focusing on somebody else rather than going, actually, I'm just going to go to the next person. I'm just going to keep going. I'm just going to keep going. I'm just going to keep going. Finally, guys, the last one. And there's more of these. I mean, I could have done hundreds, but the Grasshopper Effect. And what do I mean by that is these people that hop from idea to idea to idea to idea to idea. From business to business to business to business to business. I've done it myself years ago. Personal training. I started gambling. Wasn't very good. Didn't last very long. I thought I would become a football gambling expert. I think I lasted about 2 matches and I'd lost all my money. So don't try that at home, kids. It doesn't work. By the way, I mean, it's ridiculous. You look on the TV and every advert is about gambling. And then the next advert's about payday loans. I mean, it's insane what's going on. Anyway, again, that is another live. That is real brainwashing that's going on out there. So, football gambling, tried that. Personal training, I was doing some online stuff. I was doing network marketing. I was looking at building a food company. So I was doing like 5 different things, and I was doing 2 of them I was doing all right, and the other stuff I was doing absolutely terrible in. So what I would say, guys, is pick the one thing that you love the most. Pick the one thing that you are madly, madly in love with and say, you know what, I'm going to ride this horse until it wins the race. And then when it wins, then I might look at doing something else later. I might look at investing my money into this. Rather than saying, you know what, I'm going to do a little bit of this, 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 and a little bit of this, and end up getting overwhelmed, getting burnt out, getting tired, and getting absolutely nowhere in any of them. So what I decided to do is go, okay, what's my plan A right now? My plan A was my personal training business. I've got to keep that moving because I love it. And it's also paying me, my income. That's my plan A. That's my bread and butter. What's my plan B? What do I love most out of the other things that I'm doing? Well, I love my network marketing business. I'm really, really want that to be a success. That's the thing that lights me up the most. So what I decided to do was get rid of the other stuff, and I focused on plan A, plan B. And my aim was to stick to the plan, keep the patience, and go step by 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 step until my plan B became my plan A. And it was as simple as that, guys. So what do you need really to get rid of these things? Let's just look at them. You need to find your love for whatever it is. If you don't love it, then it's not going to go where you want it to go. You find one entrepreneur that said, I made millions of pounds, I created a dream lifestyle for myself, but I absolutely hated my business. There is very, very few people that do. If they did say that, they probably got rid of the business. They built it, it became a headache, they sold it. Lack of patience, playing the long game is how you beat that stuff. Focusing on other stuff rather than just money. Start using people to inspire you rather than to make you feel bad about where you are. So look for the inspiration, not the desperation. Drowning out the noise of negativity. So listening to people that are going to build you up. Listening to things that are going to build you up. And a lot of it, the negativity is out there, guys, that we're not even in control of. I remember when the recession first hit and I was listening to the radio, driving to my gym. And it was like, everyone's losing their jobs, people aren't spending money. And I'm like, well, the first thing that's going to go is personal training. It must do, because everyone's broke now. If I hadn't have heard that shit on the news, I wouldn't have even had those thoughts. So be careful where you're getting your external influences from. Cut out that. Bad advice. Be careful of the people selling the shovel or the spade when they don't know where the gold is. Burnout. Recover to perform. Forgetting your why. Have the vision boards out there. Remind yourself why you're doing this stuff. Don't get the overwhelm. Balance out that emotional state of things are going well. Like, try and keep at that. If you've got a car that tells you where your revs are and how your fuel consumption is, you've kind of got to get that balance where your revs are just about right, where you maintain that consistency with your emotions and your consistency with your work ethic, rather than getting too high and then getting too low. And then finally, the grasshopper effect. How do you maintain all that stuff? Well, you need to be part of an unbelievable community. You need a system on how to be successful. And you also need a proven mentor that can take you through that. So if you haven't got those three, then you need to start looking for them. That is it from me tonight. Thank you for jumping on. Going to be doing another live next week, every single Thursday, guys. Please share this with anybody that you think might need to see it, anybody that you think might get value. And have an amazing, amazing rest of the week and a great weekend. Stay cool.